Thanks everyone for joining us for the Full Stack Lunch and Learn webinar series here today. Really appreciate once again everyone giving up half an hour of their time. It's fantastic to have everyone along, and I hope everyone's staying safe and doing well through these trying times. My name's Cam O'Riordan, head up the sales and marketing team at Stack Sports, and I'd like to introduce you to Mark Petito, who will be taking us through today's session on our GameDay membership. Mark, over to you.
Thanks, Cam, and welcome everyone to today's webinar. So I'll be taking you through the GameDay membership platform. So this is our newest platform that we have got into the market, and also I'll take you through the membership platform. My screen. I'll just take you through some slides and then go over straight through to a bit of a demo. Essentially, GameDay is Stack Sports organization solution through the international market, which includes Australia, New Zealand, and our partners in the European market as well. So GameDay covers the membership management, online registrations and payments, manage your organization and hierarchy. There's some built-in communication tools, reporting and business intelligence tools powered by SciSense, which powers all the dashboards and reporting that you'll see throughout the system. And also the system's built on a API-driven architecture, which sets us up for product integration with various partners. So in terms of the membership management, some of the high-level features, obviously you can manage all your members, view your members via various different lists, can manage their registration history and their information as you need, can see all related orders and financial status of those members, ability to issue full and partial refunds directly through the system. There's various member types and season settings, and new feature that we've just released in the past couple of weeks is document management for members as well. The registrations and payments, so obviously you can use the system's built in a hierarchy base, so you can use a national template form or build your own registration forms. So they can be highly customized in terms of your branding and color scheme, using fields, various different fields within the system, uploading your terms and conditions, basic questions, and any other documents that you want your members to upload through the registration process. There's customizable messaging and a unique form for each registration form. Hierarchy and organization management. Within a national or hierarchy structure, you can manage organizations within your hierarchy up to 6 levels of the hierarchy. You can manage their financial settings and your own. Obviously, managing all the contact details. You can log into any organization within your hierarchy and assume the same view as that particular organization to help them or do things on their behalf. And you can access financial settlements, invoices, orders, and also there's the ability to manage documentation for organizations as well. In terms of communications, you can segment your members to communicate with, create your email and templates and communication styles. Obviously, you can use the system directly to email directly to your members, and then you can also review those communications that are recorded against each member as well. The reporting and business intelligence tools powered by our partners with SciSense. So they power all the dashboards and business intelligence and reporting tools within the system. So various tabular reports that you can export via CSV or PDF. They're interactive, so you can dynamically filter that information to get the data that you need through either the dashboard reports or the tabular report. So these enhanced reports are made available to organizations at all levels. So it's a powerful BI tool right down from clubs up to national bodies. Continuing to get that feedback and evolution of those reporting tools. So making sure that we're building the tools that will make your job a lot easier to get more insights into your members. And finally, obviously, the system's built on an API-driven architecture. So we try and make sure that we're partnering with various organizations and building those integrations with various partners through the product lifecycle. So you would have heard of the likes of TidyHQ or eTrainU. So we'll be building integrations with those platforms in the near future for GameDay, and that will provide enhanced opportunities for organizations at all levels. So I'll jump into the platform just to give you a bit of the system.
While you do that, Mark, I've just a couple of questions that we might be able to quickly attack right now. One's from Alicia, and it's in relation to the form customization. And she's asked, does that include being able to restrict the form, i.e. date of birth, number of entries, and form logic, product displayed based on an answer to a certain question during the registration process?
Yeah, we've got conditional products available by certain gender and date of birth restrictions. So if you choose to, don't want to sell a particular product to, or all your products are for, anyone over the age of 18 or anyone under the age of 18, for example, you can restrict those forms to only show those products. So you can kind of restrict who can register for your organization if you need to.
Thanks, mate.
All right. So obviously the login screen will take straight to the dashboard. So this is an example of just a generic dashboard that we've got for your organization. So this will be the same dashboard that you see, whether it's at club level, associations or state, right up to national level, but obviously showing you data related to your organization and to your hierarchy. So they are interactive. So if I wanted to just see those stats will change. I can just view mails, for example, and that information I can find. So this just gives you a bit of an overview of the data that's on your dashboard, and I can easily download that information into an image or CSV file, easily put into something like an annual report or something of that nature. So just running through across the top, we've got details. So obviously this is where an organization can manage their own information. There's this new feature of uploading documents for that organization. So might be a bank statement, might be certificate of insurance or things like that. So there's other documentation that an organization can upload and be able to view, either store their own documents or be able to view up the hierarchy if you need to documents on behalf of organizations within your hierarchy. The admin contacts section. So this is where you can manage all your contacts at a particular organization. And it's also where you can actually provide them access through the admin status. So you can filter those to active. So this will show anyone that's got access to this organization, and I can disable that user or enable them if they're inactive. Under finances, this is where I'll see all the orders that have come through for any registrations that have been made through the platform and on the registration form. So you can see what's been paid, what's been unpaid, search by order number to quickly bring up that order. Under settlements, this will provide me an overview of all the settlements that have been settled to my organization. So I can view that information, view the details of that particular settlement, and export that out to a CSV if I need to reconcile that information. So we settle on a weekly basis through GameDay to your organization. Under the My Hierarchy, so this is where you can self-manage creating organizations within your hierarchy if you need to. You can set them up with access once they've been created. And then I can filter by particular organizations to view that information. So I can view particular organization, their details. I can also see some contact information for that organization, see any sub-organizations, the members related to that organization. And so that gives me a bit of an overview of that particular organization. Otherwise, if I wanted to actually log into that organization on their behalf, I can just click on the login button, and that'll log me directly into that particular organization, as if I was assuming their that particular organization. So just log back up into the national body up here. So financial settings. This is where you can manage bank details and where the settlements are going to go through. There's a refund period which you can set, and there's also the processing fees which you can manage. The soft descriptor which will appear on the credit card statement, and you can choose how much percentage of the processing fee to pass on to your members if you wanted to pass any of those costs on through the registration process. The settings, this is where you can manage different seasons. So I can view the active seasons in here, and also member types. We've made this a lot more flexible in that you can create your own member types to a particular core system member type, but essentially you can create multiple member types for different. So if it's a participant, you might have your social players as opposed to your, it might be five-a-side or a different form of participant qualified coaches, as opposed to you might have youth coaches or senior coaches and things like that. So there's quite a few different options that you can choose by adding different member types. So I'll go over to products and forms. So this is where you can manage all the registration process through your organization and through your hierarchy. So creative, give a name that will take you into the wizard, which I'll set at this particular form. So under the settings page, you can give your form a name. You can assign which member types that you wish to utilize on this on this registration form, and you can choose who to make the form available to within your hierarchy, whether it's to the next level below or all levels. So on the product, so this is pretty much anything that you wish to sell on the registration form. So if I create a new product, I can give it a name. Got the description here. And then you can define when the membership starts. So you've got a specific start date as membership ends. So it might be that you might offer a trial period. So you can say it's a 30-day trial or something like that. Otherwise, you can just put a specific end date, which might be the end of the calendar year or something like that.
You can just one question, mate, that's come through in relation to the purchasing of certain products. Can you specify that a certain product, you might have 3 or 4 different products, say A, B, C, D, E. Can you say that product A has to be purchased during the registration process?
Yes, so you can make products mandatory. We are at the moment putting in place or scoping the ability to have one of a group of products as mandatory. So that's something that should be rolled out in this quarter, so Q2. So the one of a group of products to be made mandatory. So I can put it.
There's just one other, sorry, just to jump in there while you're there. The other one was around classification. So filtering the form itself in cases there might be multiple non-mandatory products when someone outside a date of birth range. So a product might be available for a person of a certain date of birth range. The person who doesn't fall into that date of birth range, are they still able to go through and complete the form without purchasing a product?
No, they can't. They can't continue without selecting a product.
Okay, great. That's answered a few of those questions that have come through. Thanks. I'll let you continue.
So then, yeah, just continuing to create a product. So you can choose when a product is available. So you might have an early bird fee that's only available for the month of April, for example, or a special offer. This is where you can put in your display rules. So I can only to, again, a player, and it might be that it's only for male or female or all, or a particular age range. So I can say, put in the age, and select a specific date. So as of the 1st of January, anyone that will this product show to? And then I can also have conditional products. So I can say, make this product only available if another product has been selected, for example. Okay, so once you've added your product, you've got all the details there. Then that will be added to this form, and then I can also mark that as mandatory if I need to. The questions and layout. So we've got some standard questions on each registration form, and then you can add in your own questions as well down the bottom. You can choose to drag and drop where those sit. Again, you can put in conditional questions If I want this proof of age document to only show say, shows only to anyone, again, between the ages of 10 to 18, for example, and select that date. So I won't save that, but you can do notation, so you can put in a message that goes to the member once they've registered. And this is an example of the invoice that goes out once payment's been received, and activate and publish. So you can choose when to make your registration form active. And this is the link you can grab for the registration form. You can also grab it from here. Just quickly note, so the form layout. So on the products and form, I can choose the display template. So as you can see, there's a change that I might make here. I can choose a different background color, choose a different button color if I wish to. So you can update the way that form looks on the front end. So it's just an example. Again, I won't save that. But once you've got your registration form, so this is what the member will come in, and they will either sign up for a new account. Again, if I'm a parent with children, I'm signing up as a new account with my details, and then I can add in any details for my particular child. So these are all the people that are linked to my account. These are the participants. You can add a new participant. So first thing, I'll add a profile image. That's not mandatory, but you can add in that. I'll just put in and as you can see, the the look and feel of the forms, nice and clean and fresh, easy to navigate around. So this is where I can select. So obviously, if there was no products available for my age or gender, or member type, they wouldn't show. So I wouldn't be able to proceed any further. So I can select additional products to register for. There's the mandatory ones. Again, here's some detail with conditional questions. I can say if I have allergies, yes, and then allergy notes will display. So it's just an example of a conditional question that we set up. Can upload a proof of age document in here. And then put in any conditions, sign off. So if I try to proceed, see there's a mandatory question there. And then once I get to the summary page, I can go back and register another person. Otherwise, I can use also a voucher code. So that might be through the New South Wales government vouchers that we integrate with, so we can apply those vouchers. And then once we go through this, proceed to payment, and that will create what's called an order within the system, and I'll be able to pay for that that particular registration. I'll quickly jump back in the system. Data displays. So once I've got those members registered, this is where I'll be able to find them. So that was an example of one of the members that have registered. I'll look up this one. So got the basic details of that particular member. Can see the parent guardian information, emergency medical details, any preferences, documents management. So I can, if I need to upload a document for that particular member and save that to their record, I can. And then I've got some other information. And then for that, for this particular member, they've registered against this organisation. You can see all the history of the registrations and their roles. You can see a history of all the registrations that they've registered through. And I can also go to their orders and transactions. So I can see a list of all the orders that have come through for that particular member, any communications that have been sent, and any responses to particular custom questions by registration form for that particular member as well. So going through members area, so I can see a full list of members within the organization and that hierarchy. So I can see a list by, so I might be able to select a particular product that I want to filter by. It might be that particular product, and I can see it's registered to that particular product and view those members. And view member type, so I can filter by a member type in here, by organization. And with all these lists, I can export those details out to a CSV file. So it easily allows me to export that data out. And then also financial filter. So I can see anyone that's financial at national level, for example, and view those records. With the reporting tools, so I can click on the report dashboard. So in here, for example, so all these reports powered through our SciSense tool. So on this dashboard, for example, be able to do a bit more information around all the details that have come through the platform. So I can see the transaction types, whether they're online or offline transactions. So I can see if I want to see how many coaches have registered and all the transaction details by coaches, I can easily see that information. So I can see a breakdown by gender, the transaction types, which organizations they're coming from. So I can, for example, or I might want to just filter that by gender, for example. So I can get all that information and 2019. So this will narrow down all the information that you're after, and then be able to again export that out as a image or a CSV file. Through the other reporting, got some tabular reports here. So I've got an advanced member report or transaction details. So this will provide me just the raw data of the platform. So I can filter by organization or by member type. I might just want built help tool as well. So just jump through. So again,
Mark, while you're there, mate, I might just pause back for a couple of questions. We've had a few questions come through. If you don't mind me feeding through to you. Yeah. The first one was from Alicia. Thanks again, Alicia. Was around putting a limit on the number of entries to a registration form or purchases of a specific product. I think this is more related to courses and events and things along those lines. So that's where Alicia was looking at. Are you able to answer that for Alicia?
Yes. So we are in about a third of the way through building our events module. And with the events module, that will allow you to, and within that will also apply to the membership products, will allow you to put in purchase limits on products, and also limit the number of purchases for a particular event overall. So you can have a product limit and then also an overall event limit as well. Product capping will be something rolled out with the stage. We're looking at around a mid to late June launch of that particular module and product.
Beautiful. And then the next one, it's a sort of a two-part question from two different individuals here, relates to duplicate recognition behavior. So when a member with the same name and date of birth but different email is registered as new, e.g. year one, the dad might register the child with his email address, and year two, the mum might register the child with her email address. What is a certain behaviour of the platform around that management of duplicates?
There isn't a restriction at the moment. So if someone was to do that, the system's not stopping that at the moment. But we are we will be looking at ways to be able to manage duplicates or prevent those duplicates. So we're probably just going to get some feedback around what the best method of managing duplicate creation is, and whether the process should be to allow it and then merge those records, or to try and prevent it in the first place. So we're just looking at different options as to the best way to handle that.
Great. And then I guess the second part question there is from James around duplicate recognition and the work that's going to be completed there. Is there the ability, or is there something that we'll be working on so the system can detect various names of a duplicate, i.e. James, Jim, Jimmy, Marty, Martin, Dan, Daniel, etc.?
I don't believe so. We probably won't go to that extent, just because there's probably so many variations that there could be. So it would have to be an exact match that we're looking for, I would say, for now.
Fantastic. And there's one last one. It came through a little earlier on, and it was around competitions. And we know that this is a membership platform at this point in time, but the vision for competitions, will the vision be for competitions that they can be created at different levels of the system hierarchy?
At this stage, we're just focusing on membership and events for GameDay. So we haven't had any concrete kind of decisions around the competitions component, but we, from previous feedback and of our current solutions, is the ability to manage competitions at all levels. So that will definitely be something that we want to prioritize, but competitions isn't something we're focusing on for GameDay at the minute.
Thanks, mate.
No worries. So again, if you want to keep up with information around GameDay. There's links to the knowledge base there. There's monthly product updates, and we send regular admin updates with any new features that we've released by email as well. And then there's also the page around any updates related to COVID-19 as well, and how we're supporting your organizations through that process. If anyone is interested in more information around GameDay, or wanting to sign up to use the system or transition from an existing product to GameDay, please get in contact through those channels, and we'll be happy to assist you with that transition. Is there anything else, Cam?
Mark, thanks very much for today's session. So in terms of, there's been a few questions specific to individual sports and organisations, and what we'll do, we'll pick them up with you individually post this webinar session. We have all your details. Just wanted to say thank you everyone for joining us. Next week, we will be back again on Wednesday with a full stack lunch and learn webinar series. And next week's one, we're focusing on education and coaching of athletes and making your players perform better via video analysis tools. So we'll be joined by our partners at Boom Stats Analysis and Jeremy, who will be guiding us through his product. And we will come back to those individuals. I know James and Adam, you have some specific questions around the use of competition management systems and GameDay membership. We'll come back to you individually today post this webinar. And if anyone has any other questions, just contact us through the link, and this webinar will be available to be watched again via our website. So Mark, thanks very much for guiding everyone through today's session, and thanks everyone for joining us today.
Thanks again, everyone. Have a
great day, guys.